We are here with our 2008 Yamaha WR250X. In this series of videos, you will see 4 parts showing us turn a completely stock bike into what you see in front of us. Now there's nothing too crazy going on. We got a few different things that I'll throw up on the screen here right before we get into the actual video showing what you'll see in each part. So again, thanks for checking it out and let's get into it. We are here in Old Mon Metalworks shop taking a look at this 2008 WR250X. What we're going to try to accomplish today is I'm going to try to get rid of this whole setup here, give it a little sleeker, more dirt bike look, and see if I can accomplish that for free reusing this taillight. I've been looking at it for a little while and I'm pretty sure that it will be doable, but don't really know until I get into it and start seeing if things are gonna fit. I'm gonna try to get this section probably by cutting off some of this plastic here, see what we'll have to do after that, and maybe get it mounted up tight in here. So, don't know if it's gonna work yet, but give it a shot. Here's a look at the bike. It's super clean example. Didn't get much riding in on it. You can see there are 1,600 miles on it, and for 2008, that is pretty neglectful. So the immediate upgrades that are probably going to happen with this bike is, first off, getting rid of that, and then next we're going to take care of this seat. At some point, hopefully black plastics, probably some different levers and bars, things like that. As far as seat work goes, here is a 2001 F4i. Is fully stunted out, which we will have a breakdown on our channel of all the parts on this guy, but these seats have already been done here, as you can see. Come up and we got a rear seat, 1 inch of buildup, and a step plate in there, which can't see very well, but back to the WR. Alright, let's see what we can do here. We're gonna have to pop off the seat, I believe, to get access to the rear fender, to get that off, to get to the bolts, to take off the rear taillight. So let's get started by getting up in here. We're gonna be looking at these two right there. Okay, they are 5mm, so we'll see if we can get these loose here. Pop this seat off. Okay, and let's grab a seat, lift up in the back, pull back. Alright, next up we're going to have to remove this little module here, and that's just attached by this little rubber band here. And then we'll have to remove both of these 2 bolts here that are 10mm. They break loose just fine. Now the next one. We'll go ahead. Okay, now that those 2 screws are out of there, fender is ready to come off, and to do that we're just going to pull back on it and wiggle it on out of there. There we go. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do here is we got 4 wires coming back from the taillight here. They come in, you got 1 plug here, and then 3 plugs are inside of this sleeve. So I'm gonna remove all of that so that whenever I take off the tail light here, it is all free and I can figure out what I'm doing all after that away from the bike. I'm gonna get my finger in there to push down on them. These ones, it looks like you need a little screwdriver. Okay, that was weird. Looks like we're gonna need to remove these 4 10mm bolts to get this assembly off. So give that a shot. Okay, again, not too bad for something that looks pretty rusty. In addition to those 4 10s, you're going to need to remove these 2 8s. Stop dropping it. Alright. Okay, and there we go. That's what we were trying to get off of there. So, that's that whole unit. And completely changes the rear look of the bike. Which, if you're watching this, most of you probably already know, and that's what you're trying to accomplish. Now we got it up on the bench, we can see that looking at this bracket right here, it looks as though I might be able to disconnect the tail light from the rest of this unit without cutting it up. Get out these 2 Phillips here. Maybe. I'm gonna get this bracket out of my way first here. 10mm, so you got access from this side. Might be a little easier with a swivel or something. But we don't feel like going and getting one, so just gonna do it the hacky way. Alright, I'm gonna need to go use a vise. Okay, we're back, and with a little help from a vise, we got that bracket out of the way. I didn't bring you guys with me because that would have taken too much time. So, now I can get a little better grip on the screwdriver to get in here to try to get these Phillips out. And there we go. So tight. Whoo! That took about just everything I had. So I don't think it's gonna come out this way. So I think we gotta bust these out. These 2 bolts out also. Which are these guys right here. These ones are a step down. You're looking at 4mm for those. I think. Yep, it's an 8 also. Looks like that probably broke loose pretty good. Got it. There we go. Alright. So now we'll get that bracket out of the way and see if we can get this out of here this way. There we go. Get out from the inside. We have got a tail light. Okay, so fitted everything up, saw where I wanted to place it. So what I have here right now is the tail light, and on the back of it is the bracket that was actually holding it into the large black plastic fender that used to come out of here. So I'm reusing that. We're putting this little notch into it to allow it to tuck up tight. So what I'm gonna do, just to make it easy on myself, this could be done without a welder, but I'm gonna use a welder, is I'm gonna tuck this up into here, and I'm just gonna tack on to the edge of where it's touching right there to this subframe. So now my bracket will be part of that. And my taillight will be tucked up nice and tight under there. Now, if you don't want to go that route, you could just slap the bracket up here on this old mounting point. It lines up pretty dang close. You might have to ream out a hole a little bit, throw the old bolts in there, and now you have your taillight up there. The only reason I'm not doing that is because it sticks out from the fenders a tiny bit, and I want a little bit cleaner setup like that. But that would definitely save you a lot of time and make it easier. Another thing you could do if you don't have a welder is, once you put it up here, you might want to take a piece of flat, drill a couple holes in it, and put a few screws in to it so that you have this, and then whenever you put your fender back on, when you put those screws in for the mounting, you could screw it right straight through that, just holding it all in place with screws. But I have a welder sitting here. It only take me a few seconds to tack it on. I don't have the bolts. I don't feel like messing with all that. So for me, the easiest thing is to throw a few tacks in there and keep this bracket permanently part of my frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that done, throw this all back together, and show you what it looks like at the end. Okay, we are back. And what we ended up doing is we have that bracket just welded on to the actual frame. Just threw in a couple of tacks there, hold the corners all on, and it's sturdy. And from the back, tucks up nice in there. And there you go. I'm gonna throw on the bodywork and we'll show you what it looks like. There we go. All set. Taking off of there. Taillight is tucked up under there right now. Very clean. Let's go ahead and click it on. See what it looks like. There we go. From the back right there. Now, only thing left to do is placement of some turn signals. So, but the main accomplishment was to get the taillight in there and to get that fender off of there. And we did that, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. All for free. Nothing but a couple hours of work. Didn't cost me anything in parts. Just some of my time and all stuff I stripped from the bike. So, hope you guys enjoyed that, and it could help you out a little bit in fixing up your bike and getting rid of that ugly extra mud flap. Alright, till next time.